Over centuries of evolution, humans' pattern recognition skills determine natural selection. Hunters skilled at spotting prey and predator and telling poisonous plants from healthy ones offered them a better chance of survival than those blind to the patterns. It enabled the survivors to pass on those pattern-friendly genes to future generations. Thanks to this in Cardano, I see many patterns emerging, an ecosystem of developers working in parallel and often in collaboration, growing with the blockchain, building out the tools, infrastructure and protocols that provide the fundamental utility and enabler for mass participation. In IOG, we see a process on loop, from research and deep theory to formal specifications in implementation or rollout of this groundbreaking technology. So if the patterns in play continue, that have so far led to Cardano delivering by far the best proof-of-stake protocol for staking, security, decentralization of block production, and community that formed around it, then it raises the question, does the pattern also suggest it will do exactly the same for scalability, DeFi, and true governance? Welcome back for today's installment of Cardano Insights, where we track the all-important developments at the very pulse of Cardano and its ecosystem each weekday. So let's get straight into it. So first up today, if you remember on Friday we covered a piece on NMKR and founder Patrick after the recent announcement they signed a deal with Newtek, a real estate company that aims to bring real-life assets into Web3 with the intention to launch a host of NFTs backed by commodities and real estate on the Cardano blockchain. Well, I'm starting to question if Patrick is the hardest working entrepreneur and innovator in the Cardano ecosystem. Something I wasn't aware of, but NMKR started as a side project while co-founder Patrick was writing his bachelor's thesis about Cardano. The project started with zero funding, representing a great example of how far hard work and determination can get you. It really is a great success story. Well, check this out. Yesterday, NMKR announced yet another partnership, and this time with Input Output, a move that aims to drive the widespread adoption of NFTs on Cardano. Firstly, as always, it's important to congratulate NMKR for their continued efforts to drive adoption to Cardano. As I've said previously, having individuals like Patrick and projects like NMKR is vital for the progressive growth of the ecosystem. In terms of the specifics or details surrounding this partnership is at this stage rather vague, and other than this article released by NMKR and a tweet by Input Output Media, I haven't been able to find the real specifics behind the collaboration. It would be nice, considering Input Output have chosen NMKR for this kind of NFT adoption partnership, if more details were released surrounding it. Whenever IOG form partnerships with community-built projects, there's always a feeling amongst some parts of the community, evident on social media, that it does more for the PR for said project than it does in progressing the ecosystem, and in some cases is seen as favouritism. Whilst I don't agree with this, and NMKR fully deserve this kind of exposure, in my opinion, if Input Output are going to form these kinds of project partnerships, then it should be done with detailed information so the community is well informed, and that way can possibly alleviate some of the questions, concerns or criticism that comes off the back of such moves. The article released, however, does confirm the collaboration has seen NMKR build a minting API for a new NFT ecosystem, with the goal of making it as easy as possible for anyone to mint and engage with NFTs. NMKR is providing the technology on the Cardano blockchain, providing minting services, white label NFT drops, and also allow for the migration and integration of NFTs and NFT related services between Cardano and other distributed ledger technologies. It goes on to confirm that the collaboration will see the integration of a new fiat payment option created by NMKR, meaning that users will be able to pay with traditional currencies as well as cryptocurrencies. This will enable anyone across the globe to participate in an NFT sale without needing a prior in-depth understanding of the crypto market. From my understanding, these are the tools and solutions that NMKR have already brought to the Cardano ecosystem. Unless I'm missing something, and feel free to let me know in the comments if I have, it doesn't tell us a lot about how exactly the partnership is going to achieve, in using this kind of infrastructure provided by NMKR, further adoption, specifically in the collaboration with Input Output itself. This is something I'll be very interested to find out more, so I guess we'll have to watch this space. It's clear Input Output have identified NMKR as a key contributor to the Cardano ecosystem, and this kind of partnership is a fantastic show of faith for a community-built project. Hopefully more details will be released shortly, and I'm definitely looking forward to see what materialises from this further on down the line. Now to Muesliswap, the first Cardano DEX, a project we've covered several times on this channel previously, tracking the progress and developments surrounding the lead up to the mainnet launch of their version 2 hybrid DEX model, that combines an order book and AMM style DEX that will enable them to offer instant settlement, low slippage, limit orders and partial fulfillment at the same time, not to mention even lower fees when it finally goes live. It's no secret I'm very fond of this project, not only for what they brought to the Cardano ecosystem in terms of their DEX, but how the team operates with minimal hype and in most cases dropping new features, including the original launch of the DEX itself, almost out of nowhere. You always have to respect a project that focuses on functionality, utility and delivery. As you can see here, they remind us that albeit we didn't need Vasil to launch our DEX, referring to the original launch of the version 1 DEX, we will be having the very launch of the first hybrid DEX on Cardano post-Vasil. We're just waiting for the Plutus version 2 scripts. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of all the projects we're anticipating yet to deploy on Cardano. But let's not forget, we also have projects that have been here from the very beginning of the ecosystem taking shape, who have continued to evolve and innovate. With the new Vasil capabilities inbound, they too will also be in effect, launching new versions and features that adds much value to the ecosystem. Earlier today they also provided this. Are you getting excited for our hybrid DEX? Vasil is just around the corner, and with it also comes our AMM and redesign. So if you remember, we did cover all the redesign mockups that they've been releasing to the community in June. Here they ask, how do you like the mobile view? Providing this screenshot. It looks pretty clean, very familiar type arrangement. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on Muesliswap, the redesign, and its soon to launch version 2 hybrid DEX. I'll be sure to follow up diving into the launch post-Vasil. Now to an interesting development for another project that I've covered extensively on this channel. If you follow the project itself or have tuned in regularly to Cardano Insights, you'll know the launch of AADA Finance, which could well be the first peer-to-peer lending protocol on Cardano, is fast approaching. So fast in fact, that it may well be happening much sooner than we first thought. So previously I've dived into the innovative tech and solution the team at AADA are bringing to the ecosystem with the NFT bond concept that promises to provide a pure peer-to-peer and decentralized approach to lending and borrowing. We've walked through the impact and possibilities these bonds enable in terms of a secondary marketplace and the importance lending protocols have on an ecosystem in terms of bringing in new value and users through its utility. For some comparison or reference, check Aave in the Ethereum ecosystem. But AADA isn't a copy and paste protocol. They're introducing a highly innovative concept made possible by Cardano's architecture, and when assessing the tech, roadmap, team and progress made since the project formed, as I always say, it's a highly underrated one. But we're not going to go over old ground. I'll cover a separate piece on the protocol when it officially goes live. So this brings me back to the point of this segment. I came across an interesting discussion on the AADA Telegram where the team confirmed they're now in the second phase of their audit, and the launch to mainnet is in fact not directly linked to the Vasil hard fork as I first thought. From what I can tell, and as confirmed by the team, waiting for Vasil is not a requirement for the version 1 launch of the protocol. So depending on whether the audit is tied up in advance, we may well see our first peer-to-peer lending protocol on Cardano even before the Vasil hard fork takes place. As always, I'll be tracking the developments here very closely. Now if you remember during the widely publicised back and forth between Mickey Watkins of World Mobile and Mark Cuban, Mickey used a screenshot from the WMT Scan tool as part of his educational tweets. This was soon to be made live for everyone to use to get real-time data from the World Mobile team and World Mobile token itself. Well, earlier today we got this announcement confirming the WMT Scan is now live. If you head over to worldmobiletoken.com and click the option WMT Scan, you'll be able to check live data for the AirNode map, network consumption, unique users, and various World Mobile token stats. What I like most, if you zoom in over Zanzibar, you can see the AirNode placements and connectivity reach as displayed here with the yellow highlight. It's pretty cool. While still very early, this tool provides a fantastic way for the average user to track the World Mobile progress as more infrastructure is deployed and the network coverage expands across the entire region of Zanzibar and beyond in a real-time setting. So go check it out, linked in the description, and nice work World Mobile. Finally, yesterday the Cardano Foundation released this fireside chat between Fred Gregaard and Dirk Hohndel. If you remember, the Cardano Foundation had recently become a gold member of the Linux Foundation, and Dirk also joined the Cardano Foundation as Chief Open Source Officer, which was all met with huge excitement from the Cardano community. So if you're one of those excited individuals and want to hear from Frederick and Dirk on all things Cardano and open source, then this is definitely for you. linked in the description below. The discussion itself dives deep into the wider strategy the Cardano Foundation is implementing with regards to adoption and its efforts to become a truly open source project. A really interesting watch, and I'm going to do my key takeaways in another video later this week. So that's it for today's installment of Cardano Insights, as we keep track of all the developments and continue to spread those positive Cardano vibes. If you found value in the content, then please be sure to comment, share, like, and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow with your daily roundup. Until then, thanks for watching, have a great day, and as always, keep it Cardano.